Sweet potato grows on almost all types of soil, but does best on deep, moderately fertile soils. In addition to soil preparation, it is important that farmers ensure the supply of organic matter and nutrients in such a way that it balances the removal of nutrients through harvesting. When soils deteriorate, farmers should incorporate organic matter into them. The following sources of organic matter can be used for this purpose. Farmers could use farm manure, which is the excrement of any kind of livestock, often mixed with leftovers of feed. They could use compost, which is the decomposed planting material, for instance from kitchen and garden waste or crop harvest residues. Or it could be green manure, for example an intercrop that does not compete with the main crop or is grown during the off-season and preferably can fix nitrogen from the air. Intercropping sweet potato with other crops such as beans and peas can increase the nitrogen content of the soil. Intercropping, therefore, is important to be practiced by farmers. Intercropping may also suppress weeds since intercrops occupy space between the main crop plants. The development of sweet potato crops from establishment to harvesting usually takes 100 to 150 days depending on the variety and the environmental conditions. Sweet potatoes need various nutrients as food, the most important of which are nitrogen or N, phosphorus or P, potassium or K. Farmers have heard of NPK. These are the chemicals, the compounds being talked about here. These are available in the soil, in irrigation water, and in the air. Farmers have to apply additional fertilizer when they cultivate crops intensely and exhaust the natural reserves of these nutrients. By providing adequate NPK, the other nutrients not provided through fertilizer will be extracted by the plants from the soil reserve, and sooner or later the soil will become exhausted of these nutrients and sweet potato will not grow and yield properly. It is best to apply NPK between 4 and 8 weeks after planting. How then do farmers manage pests, diseases, and weeds in the field? The most important pest of the crop is the sweet potato weevil, and this can be controlled by planting sweet potato only on land where the crop has not been grown in the last 2 years. Earthing up the soil around the crop every 4 to 6 weeks has also been found to be a useful control measure against weevil build-up. If the land is limited and you are unable to avoid planting next to all sweet potato fields, then make sure that the field is completely cleared of all storage roots and vines, and that they are burnt or fed to livestock. This will help reduce the spread of pests and diseases to the new crop. Remove caterpillars and their nests by hand. A number of foliage feeders can also cause extensive damage to sweet potato plants, and these are the sweet potato butterfly, the tortoise beetles, and sweet potato handworm. These are some of the most important foliage feeders of sweet potato. However, this can be controlled by farmers following these recommendations. 1. Regularly scout the field and collect and destroy these pests manually. 2. Use chemical control only when there is a heavy infestation, and in this case, farmers are advised to use insecticides like decis, dimethoate, and malathion. 3. Remove the weeds in the surrounding area to reduce the problem or incidence of pests, since weeds, for example, the morning glory and bindweed, have been known to harbor these pests. Sweet potatoes can develop bacterial root rot, which in most cases destroys plants and fleshy roots. On fibrous roots, localized lesions are observed, but the entire root system can be affected, showing a characteristic black streaking in the vascular tissue of the roots. Farmers who see these symptoms should follow the following recommendations to control bacterial root rot. 1. Use cuttings obtained from the upmost portion of the tips of vines. 2. Avoid wounding sweet potato tubers after harvest. And then 3, practice crop rotation with non-host crops for at least 3 years. How then can farmers control weeds? Weeds can be very dangerous to the proper growth and management of sweet potatoes, and therefore weeding is important and should be done during the first 4 to 6 weeks after planting, before the sweet potato vines cover the soil. In summary, therefore, we have seen that farmers can improve the yields of their sweet potatoes by applying a number of recommendations. In this radio program, we want to look at the 5 recommendations that farmers need to follow in order to ensure improved yield of their sweet potatoes. 1. Farmers need to plant 3 vines per mound, or 1 vine for every 30 centimeters on ridges for maximum yield. 2. Farmers need to plant sweet potatoes on well-drained, light, sandy, loam or silt loam soils. 3. Farmers need to keep land free from weeds until the crop covers the ground. The first weeding should be done during the first 4 to 6 weeks. 4. Weeding heel up around the plant is important to enhance root expansion, and this will improve yields and protect the roots. Then 5, it is important that farmers grow improved sweet potato varieties like Naspot 2, Naspot 3, Naspot 4. These can be available by contacting the local extension officer who can help farmers access these varieties. It is important that farmers pay attention to the recommendations in this program, and that all who have listened tell other farmers what they have learned and heard in this radio program. The program has been produced by the Rural Empowerment Network, REN, with the financial assistance of the Technical Center for Agricultural and Rural Cooperation, CTA.